Hey guys, Shawn Ziem, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor, and the podcast for Webtalk Legends, the host. And it's all about dropping value as far as sharing your story. And you're going to find out with my guests, as always, they're going to talk about their trials, tribulations, things that have happened. Some of them are entrepreneurs, some of them are into small business owners, some are into you know anything, affiliate marketing, network marketing, things like that. So a little bit of housekeeping. If you're watching live, please drop a comment, hashtag live, and drop a comment where you're watching from. If you're on the replay, hashtag replay. And if you have questions, if you have, if you agree, disagree, you want to drop a couple of emojis during our conversation, please, please, please do that as well. And at some point, please hit that share button because we want to help as many people as possible. So let me bring on a good friend of mine, Robby Corujo. What's up, man? How are you?
How's it going?
I haven't seen you in person in a while. We used to do a lot of in-person events.
I know.
And it's been a crazy time, but definitely going to be starting to do that again very soon. But thanks for joining us tonight. This is fantastic.
Yeah, we got to get some networking events going on pretty soon.
Yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to let people know that are watching tonight, tomorrow, and the week from now, whenever they get this video, they're going to learn about you, find out what you're doing. And as always, I want to find out, who are you and what do you do?
What do I do? Who am I? Robby Corujo. I am a serial bar owner.
Yeah.
Serial restaurateur. Every time I see something that there's an opportunity, I kind of jump on it. So, a couple years ago, I opened up a place in Breckenridge, Colorado, and the reason why I did that was, I owned a condo out there. I was going out there a lot, and I had this bar and pizza idea in my head, and in the past I messed around a little bit with pizza at Pub 46.
Yeah.
But it was never good. It was never good. And I actually just took it off the menu because it just wasn't good, and I don't want to serve something that wasn't that great.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I always had that that bar and just simple menu, bar and pizza concept in my head, and then I was going out to Colorado a lot, and I noticed that the pizza wasn't that great out there, and I was thinking, man, what a good area for me to do my bar and pizza idea. So I ended up finding this empty spot on Main Street over there. It was an art gallery, and that's it. We'll move forward. I didn't know anybody there. I think I was crazy.
That's interesting, man. Like, now in Breckenridge, Colorado, for those, I've never been there, so please let us know. Are you near the ski slopes? Is it a very touristic kind of place?
Across the street from the ski area, so you could walk right into the lift. From right across Main Street into the village, right to the Quicksilver lift, which is the nearest lift to there. It's a really popular ski area, one of the most popular ski areas in the country, if not the most popular. I think maybe Vail might be more popular. And we're like about an hour and a half west of Denver, so not too far from a major city.
You were going out there to ski? You're a skier, right?
Yeah, I was going out a lot. At least once a month. I was going out there, and the summers are great out there too. The weather's it's like 70 degrees and sunny every day. I like biking a lot, so it was perfect. I loved it. And I went out a lot that summer and that fall, and I'm like, man, this is such a great area for my idea. And I did it, and and just looking back now, I'm like, man, what was I thinking? They're like, I don't know anybody there. It's not like I had a network of, former employees or to try to get, or I knew contractors. I didn't know anybody there. And I took what was an art gallery before, end up acquiring a liquor license, turning the art gallery into a restaurant, with a 36-foot bar. So then that was before COVID. So I ended up building the place during COVID. And I did everything myself over there. I built the bar, did all the woodwork. Yeah. Did all the metal work on the walls. Ended up opening June 12th, 2020. Wonderful time to open up a restaurant in America. Most restaurants are closing. I'm opening. But, in the beginning, the beginning was rough because, it was, we didn't have indoor dining and, I had like no employees almost. And, I was making every pizza myself.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I worked for the first 3 months. I worked every single day, made every single pizza, made all the dough in the morning, the previous day. It was rough the first couple months, but then every week that went by, it just got busier and busier. And, I was able, as it got busier, brought on more employees and then, ended up bringing on pizza makers and then eventually bringing on a manager. So, it was, I kind of got it rolling, got everything in place and then was able to step back.
This is interesting because a lot of people, if you don't know Robby, he owns Pub 46 in Clifton, which is in New Jersey. And then you say that you moved or, you're going out traveling to Colorado often and you decided to open up a business there. And a lot of people have a fear. They have a fear to open up locally. And you went to a different state. You have those days like, Robby, you shouldn't be doing this. What were you doing to yourself? What were you telling yourself to keep going? What were some of the things that you were maybe listening to, maybe reading, any mentors that you might have like leaned on for those days?
It was just an idea. When I get something in my head, I focus at like 110% on it and that's it. I just do it. Like COVID happened. It didn't even like faze me. It didn't even bother me. I didn't even think about it. Just kept on going, and I don't know, I kind of get like tunnel vision, I start something, I picture the opening and it happened,
So what really you're doing, you're a serial, what did you say? Restaurateur?
Yeah.
Which is true, right? But you're scaling, you're putting a manager in place that you're supposed to trust. It should go to almost hands off.
Yeah.
And then you can actually open another place, which we're going to talk about what's going on in the near future with you. Yeah. But when you're in a bar world, you're in the restaurant world, the pizza world, your days are super long. Tell us about it. How do you keep yourself healthy or keep yourself on the right track? Is there anything that you kind of do or you just go, react all day long?
Well, I started eating a lot better last year. Yeah, thanks to my girlfriend. She's feeding me a lot healthier foods
instead of pizza all the time, right?
Yeah, well, I do still eat a lot of pizza. But yeah, no, I definitely, definitely as you get older, now that I'm a lot older, definitely got to watch what you eat. So, I try to eat everything, natural and not like, pre-made or anything like that, and you want to eat everything in its original form, and cook it that way. So I've been eating a lot healthier. Just keeping weight off and stuff. So you gotta stay healthy.
How is the bar scene out in Colorado compared to New Jersey? In New Jersey, I know Pub 46 had that pass. People were dancing in the bar, what have you. What does like the scene look like in Colorado?
So we were in a ski area, so it was a lot of tourists, mostly. So you can't compare the place I have out there to all of Colorado. But that place was, we do a lot of families there. A lot of people come in between 5 and 8 was like the main rush for dinner. A lot of beer drinkers. Everybody, we sold mostly beer, very little liquor.
Interesting.
We had 24 beers on tap there. We kept them always rotating. So, we would change beers, a couple times a day to, multiple different beers, so we kept them all. I think people like that too, every time they come in, there's something different on tap.
Give a variety. Yeah.
So then, so like I said, like I always had a bar and pizza concept in my head. I did it. The place was really successful. One thing was missing. is that I needed to do it in the capital of pizza in New Jersey. So I had to do that out here in New Jersey. So that's the one thing that's missing from the equation.
Mm-hmm.
Now I had that concept out there. I'm basically doing the same concept I did out there in here. So I ended up in end of February, I ended up selling that place
In Colorado.
Yeah. So I ended up selling that place solely so I can concentrate on this place 100%. When you open up a new place, you got to be there all the time. You can't do it remotely, or you got to be there a lot. Just like in Colorado, I was there, every single day. Every single day, for months, and you got to be there a lot. And then once you get everything in motion, all your people in place, then you can start stepping back.
Right. It takes a lot of work in the beginning.
Yeah, you want to get everything set up and get your managers in place and everybody knows what to do. So then that's how I'm able to step back.
And you can enjoy yourself. And I know you're a car guy, right? You're into the cars. Let's talk about that, man. How many cars you've been working on? Some cars, or you go and race? And talk about that.
I got so many cars now. I got four Grand Nationals. Four Buick Grand Nationals. Yeah, got my Mustang race car. So I mean, yeah, man, I'd love to. Right now, that's taking a back seat, to everything because, I got to get this restaurant going. But yeah, I wish I could just work in my car all the time and race. That's my passion. I've always been, since I was 17 years old. Drag racing. Doing a lot of street racing when I was younger.
And it's something. It takes a lot of. Wait, did you learn as like the mechanic school? The skill of being a mechanic. Do you work on those cars, or you have people work on them?
No. So when I was younger, I always, would, even going back like when I was really young, and I would just tinker on my bike, and I'll take my bike apart and put it back together, and kind of the same thing happened with cars. I kind of started taking stuff apart, and then in the 90s, I was an auto mechanic for a little bit, not long. I didn't like working all day on other people's cars and then going home and working on my car. So then that's when I pursuing other avenues, and a friend of mine, started going to bartending school. I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me try that. Because I really like the nightlife. I was never a morning person, so I wanted something where I could work at night and make good money and do whatever I want during the day. So I went to bartending school, started bartending, and that's when I really fell in love with the whole restaurant business. So I did that in the mid 90s, and this will be restaurant number 14 that I've owned.
That's definitely a serial restaurateur. And you were into like competitions, right?
Yeah, pizza bar or both.
I think there was like bartenders type of stuff you were doing. I remember you did some video.
In the 90s, I competed with a lot of competitions and all over the place: Florida, Vegas, Canada. Bar floor competitions. Yeah, that was fun. And then now, I'm competing in pizza making competitions. So I just competed in Vegas at the Pizza Expo. So I ended up coming in. We have different categories. So I competed in the traditional category, which you have to make a pizza, any toppings you want, up to 2 toppings. And I ended up coming in 10th place out of 90 people from all over the world.
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, just made a cheese pizza. That's it. Nothing, no toppings.
Now, talk about the judges for this competition. Were they all in shape or are they overweight?
So the judges, you don't even see them. They're behind the curtain. The way it works is you make your pizza. They supply, you got to supply all the ingredients. So I made my dough days before over here in Jersey. It flew with me on the plane to Las Vegas. Then the cheese, I got from Grande Cheese, which had a booth out there. Chow Tomatoes supplied the tomatoes, and then they'll have all different ovens you could choose from to use. So I use the Pizza Master oven, which is what I'm going to be using in my new place. And so you make your pizza. You have I think up to 20 minutes to make your pizza from beginning to end. You present it. First, the judges look at it as a whole, like the appearance of it. Then the pizza comes back out. They judge it on the appearance. Then they cut it into slices, and you pick two slices, I think, 2 slices that go back, 2 or 3 slices that go back to the judges, and then they try it. And so they don't know whose pizza it is. We don't know who they are. So it's very blind, So there's no favoritism or anything like that. So then they try it, they eat it at that point, and they judge it based on the taste, and that's it.
There's a lot of work that goes into making a pizza. The dough is the important thing, right? That's the hard part.
I think the biggest part, yeah. The dough is the biggest part, I think. Then cheese and sauce are probably equally as important, but I think dough is the biggest thing because the dough is the flavor of the pizza, the big flavor of the pizza, how it comes
crunch
out
or something.
Yeah. So it's like, it's very simple. Like, it's only a couple ingredients that go into making dough, water, yeast, oil, salt, flour. But it's just the whole process of making it, and the temperature, a lot has to do with temperatures, your temperatures of the water, your ambient temperature in the room you're making it in, how long you're storing it before actually you make the pizza. So there's a lot that goes into it, which that makes the difference between a good pizza and a bad pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So it's simple. It's a simple thing to make and a simple business to get started in. If somebody just wants to open up a pizzeria, they buy a mixer and a pizza oven, and
you're off to the races.
Yeah, you can start making pizza. But there's so many little things that go into making pizza that I think a lot of places probably miss. So then, going back, when I did decide to open up this place in Colorado, I never really knew how to make pizza. So I ended up, once I decided I'm going to do that, I'm like, well, I need to learn how to make pizza the best way. So I got trained by this world pizza champion. And in Manhattan for a week, all we did was make pizzas. So for 1 week, one after another, it would stack them up high.
Really?
Yeah. One pizza after another, we just made pizzas. So I really learned, the correct way of making pizzas.
Because it goes with the oven too, as far as making sure it's hot enough.
Yeah,
and sometimes
style,
different style. Then what is there? A piece of metal that goes a little tray underneath the pot, and then they pop that off sometimes too.
So, yeah, that's different ways of making it. So different ovens are better for different styles of pizza. Some people make their pizza in a pan, and then make it in the pan. Maybe pull it out. Maybe like a minute before and put it back in. So maybe to char up the bottom. I make it right on the stones. So I don't use a pan or anything. Or some people make it on a screen, put it on the pizza screen.
Oh, right, yeah, yep.
In the oven. So people make it all different ways. And every the unique thing about pizza, it's gonna be, every pizza looks different coming out of the oven. It has its different markings and everything on it. So every pizza is unique. It's not exactly the same pizza. It's not like It's not like frozen pizza.
Cookie cutter, type of thing.
Every pizza is very, very unique.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so a lot goes into it.
14 different types of restaurants you've had. Can you talk to us about the ones that didn't work out that great? You thought you opened this up. Oh, this is going to be great. And it just bombed.
Yeah.
And I would love to be really transparent. I want to hear about that.
Yeah. I've had a couple, and just
it's
like,
not easy. People think that you just open something up, you can make all this money.
No, just like everybody, everyone who's successful, has usually has had a path of ups and downs. They,
Oh
they've
yeah.
they've lost money, they've made money. You just want to end up making more money at the end. But yeah, I've had, so in the beginning, my first bar was Fatso Fogarty's in North Arlington, which was like this crazy college bar, something like that. Probably never exist again in this world. It was crazy. Then 2 years later, I opened up Pub 46. That was in 06. And that, I had like a reputation from Fatso's. So, that a lot of that crowd came over to Pub 46, and that became another, pretty wild college bar type place, back then.
Mm-hmm.
So then I kind of like was thinking in my head, let me try to duplicate this in other places. And I think that's where I learned that kind of atmosphere. You could duplicate a restaurant, pretty easily, but trying to duplicate like a nightclub type of scene is hard, because what makes the scene in a particular place is the employees, the customers, the people from the area. So that's what makes, a good, party bar type place, which that's what it was at that point. Party bar / club. It's hard to duplicate that. When you have a restaurant and your main thing is the food, the food you can duplicate. So that's easier to do than trying to duplicate something that's, it's because of the employees, that make the place. It's the customers that make the place. The people from the area, where it's located. I was, Pub 46 is right by Montclair State, so
Mm-hmm.
We get a lot of people from there. So you'll never duplicate all that. So I was trying to duplicate that, and it just didn't work out. You just, it's hard to duplicate that nightclub's environment.
So as you got older, you got wiser. You learned. You reflected. You wanted to do something that was going to be,
More long term.
more of a restaurant and
Yeah.
long term, right?
Yeah, and a restaurant can be long term. Nightclub and that party bar type of scene, it's not long term. You're hot for a minute, but eventually people will get tired, or a new place opens up, they'll go there, and that's it. And that was one of the reasons why I sold the place in Wayne I had in Mother's Ale House. Where the place ended up doing, so it was so crazy at night that it was so much nightlife that I knew if I lost that nightlife, which would happen eventually,
Mm-hmm.
the place may not be able to sustain itself. And that's going back to like, and I wish I had that bar pizza idea back then, because I would have done that. But back then, I kind of inherited, I opened up that place. It was about to open, and then I got involved in it, and the place was about to open. So I took it over when it was about to open, and there was already a menu in place, that I had nothing to do with, and the menu was probably the death of the food. That menu was it was over 100 items, terrible.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's too much overload.
So bad. After it killed us. It sunk us right from the day one. I cut a bunch of items after a week, and I even cut more like after a couple other weeks. But it was too late at that point. Once people, it's hard to get people back once they say they had a bad experience.
So let's talk about the new one. Talk about the new and the one in Wayne. What is it going to be called? And you're going to be going with that pizza atmosphere type of thing. Talk about that, man.
So it's going to be called Wayne Ale House and Pizza. Modeled very similar to my Colorado place, which had a lot of success there. And it's going to be a very simple menu, a little bit more than what I had in Colorado, but it's going to be focused on big pizzas. 24-inch pizzas is going to be our thing, just like we did in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
24-inch New Jersey style pizza, sauce on top. We're going to have 2 sandwiches on the menu and just a couple of appetizers, and that's it. Nothing else. Not a big menu, very small. But the pizza is going to be the main thing. Good pizza.
You learn, man. You learn. You figure things out. I know there's people popping in right now from Australia, UK. Is pizza popular in those other countries? Is that something you know? Is that something that's really popular around the world? Does everyone eat pizza? I don't know. It's something. I don't know if it's
Probably not as much as here.
No,
for sure.
In America, man, everybody's
New Jersey.
constantly.
I think New Jersey, New York, it's probably, and that's why I wanted to do this place in New Jersey because, this is the capital of pizza. New Jersey, New York. I think Colorado. I think tacos was like the big thing there. Like a lot of taco places. A lot of Mexican places. That was very popular there. Pizza not like it is here, especially like Manhattan. You go to Manhattan, there's pizza place in every block.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's why I want to do the place here. So now, this new place is going to be basically all my knowledge of all the places I've had over the years. All put together. So I'm doing. I learned a lot over the years and putting it all together in one place.
Do you have any challenges that you might have? Like certain places have a huge burger, and if you eat the whole burger, you get a picture on the wall. Is there like a huge slice that
you? Well, I do have a 24-inch slice, and that actually got started back in the pub days. When I was doing pizza over there, but it wasn't that good. What I was doing. It was bad. I didn't know anything about pizza.
It was good because people were drunk by the time they had it, so they didn't care. That's but they didn't care about it.
If they like that pizza, the pizza they're gonna have now they're gonna love it. Now it's made the right way. Back then I was really just winging it, kind of like I'm sure a lot of people do. You just wing it making pizza. But we will have a 24-inch slice. Will I have a challenge or anything? I don't know. Maybe. I'm just trying to get open right now.
Yeah, that's the important thing is getting you open.
Yeah, and this place is tough, because it was a restaurant before, so I'm working around the existing restaurant, as far as like the layout and everything, where the bars are in the place and the kitchen, and that's way harder to do than opening up a place from scratch, like I did in Colorado. So that's like the biggest challenge in opening up this place. Is just working around the existing footprint of the place and where everything is, and where the kitchen layout and the refrigeration and everything. So it's tough, like one thing, we don't have a big walk-in box for the beers, so unfortunately we're not going to have a ton of draft beers like I wanted to, but it's just one of the limitations of working with an existing footprint,
right?
No,
you'll make it work, man. Definitely, always did. You always had big functions that would pop in to Pub 46. It's something that food brings people out. That's something that it's an important thing. So
I got this big parking lot in the back, so I'm gonna be doing car meets there whenever I can.
Good idea. See, your mind's always thinking. It's always, and when we first met, we met at an investor event.
Yeah.
Because you were about fixing and flipping and stuff like that, and it's all about building relationships. People don't realize, because I've had events at your place, and we bring people over there, and it's just building connections. And
you never know who you're gonna meet. Then like you end up being friends, and and make connections and. Yeah. I say talk to everybody, Talk to everybody, you never know who they know or whatever, and make those connections. That's important.
It's how you grow. You're learning about how you can help somebody else grow. That's what I think is the important question, is not just selling whatever you have or the service. Find out how you can help them, So I'm sure you're marketing the new place is going to be marketed differently than all the other ones you've had, because you've learned.
Yeah.
the process.
Yeah. Yeah. It's right now I'm so focused on like just getting the place open. It's I didn't even think about yet how I'm going to market, the place. I don't want to. I really actually don't want to be too crazy busy at first.
Right.
Because I want to make sure we give that good service and get everybody in the routine of the new place and everything, all the employees. So I kind of, when I opened up Mother's Ale House in Wayne, years ago, man, we opened that place up. It was like, and I don't even think we didn't even do a grand opening or anything. I think we just opened the doors, and that place was so busy right from the get. So it's like I don't actually want that.
Right.
I want at least 1 week where it's not crazy busy. And let it be busy later. But yeah, that first week, I'm kind of just gonna open up the doors and quietly let people know.
Do a little soft opening.
Yeah, it's the place has got a great location. It's right in the middle of Wayne. Wayne's a great town. A lot of people live in Wayne. I think it's like 55,000 people. So we're right in the middle of town on a main road. So it's going to be busy. It's definitely. I created. I think I'm creating something that everybody wants. That you could be any age and enjoy yourself there. You could be older, younger. It's going to be a good environment. A lot of TVs. The place will have a lot of energy. Great pizza. That's going to be the main focus. Don't go there expecting a huge menu. It's not. It's going to be pizza. 2 sandwiches, a couple appetizers. That's it.
And have conversations with whoever you're with, because if you're not, that's just boring as hell. Unless you're watching TV, I guess that's about it. So, is there any final thoughts you can share with those that are entrepreneurs out there with starting a business, etc.?
Someone asked me this the other day. One of my contractors' workers, asked me about like, oh, how do I get to start my own business and everything? And I told him to, do what you love. So whatever you love to do, that's what you need to follow. You definitely need to do what you love, because you can't go to work every day and hate what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do what you love. Figure out a way to make money, in what you love, and I tell them too, what are your hobbies? What do you do for hobbies? Maybe do something around that. Do what you love. That's the biggest thing, and that's why I keep going. I keep saying I want to get out of the restaurant business, but I dabbled in real estate. Flipped some houses. Rental properties. But I don't know. Just something sucks me back.
It's not your love, just like you said.
Yeah. I like it, but it's not like. And some people love it, the real estate business, and I dabbled in it a little bit, but it's just, I don't know. That I think I like a big challenge. I think that's it. I love a big challenge, and every time you open up a new place, it's like it's the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Like challenge of opening up a new place and putting it all together, and a team of people working with you, and it's nice to see it all come together, and just once everything's in motion and running, and just to look back and just see it, and it's nice.
No, it's definitely so true, and I wish you all the luck on the new one. Definitely want to be. I'll be there at some point as well.
Yeah.
Definitely want to maybe do some kind of events. We'll start doing that up, in the near future, and
within the end of the month, I hope to be open.
Yeah, so definitely be in touch with that. And Robby, I appreciate you coming on, man. This is fantastic. Lots of value here. If you're just popping in, don't forget, let it upload and start from the beginning, because it's lots of great stuff. And if there's anything you guys need, reach out in the description. You could check out the address and check out the pizza, the 24-inch pie, right? So it's definitely going to be an exciting, next chapter in Robby Corujo's restaurateur. And thanks again, man.
Again in a couple months after the opening, and talk about how that went.
No doubt about it, man. Awesome. Right. Hey, as always, we hope that everyone has an awesome rest of your day.
Yeah, thanks, Shawn. Take care.